Hi, Alan Socal. I'm reviewing the JEDIA cordless rotary tool. It's a 5-speed cordless, sort of a mini-me version of the corded, and also I've got a couple cordless rotary tools downstairs, but they're under a brand with the capital letter D, very well known in the rotary tool hobby industry. And then I've got some large rotary tools too for cutting large bolts and such. I brought this in for review because I'm a tool guy and I like tools, so I recognized it was a compact rotary tool, and I wanted to see whether it would be a good value. And so here's the container. Inside we have, and this was surprising, it wasn't the typical rotary tool holder kit, you know, the like a metal or plastic case. It was this satchel affair, and that really put me off. That immediately made a bad impression on me. Inside this is like a Halloween candy bag. I mean, they've got all the stuff in here. I don't know if you can see. It's just, this is not my idea of a good tool case. Most rotary tools in fact, all of the rotary tools that I own have a proprietary case where I can put all my goodies. And I've got tons of accessories similar to what's in the box here. This is never the way I would keep my rotary tool accessories. They show it very neatly laid out in the vendor page, but that's the vendor page. And so when I got this, I was a bit surprised. Of course, here's the rotary tool itself. I charged this a couple of weeks ago when I got the tool in. This is a multi-speed rotary tool. It charged quickly. It only took less than an hour, I think, and it went up to full charge. You push the buttons, 2, 3, 4, 5, and off. You've got your shaft lock here, this little button, and of course when you do that, this locks the motor, locks the drive shaft. I will tell you too, it's got a reasonable amount of torque. I can bring it to a stop now. It's on the second speed. 3, 4. I don't want to burn my fingers, but it's got a reasonable amount of torque for what I would use this for. Just so I can bring this home for you about how I was put off by the fact that it didn't have a case. This particular rotary tool by JEDIA comes in at $23. There's no vendor discount on the vendor page. And as I said, you do get everything you need. You just don't really get a very substantial place to put everything. There's some metal cutting blades here, mini saw blades, and here's a recharge cable. This is a mini USB at this end. It's not the USB-C, by the way. I already use a tool up here in my recording area. It goes into my master tool carrying bag. It's an open bag, but it's all the basic tools I use to set up my lighting equipment, Allen wrenches, stuff like that. I actually have a power screwdriver, a little mini power screwdriver with the same kind of master unit as you have here, except it's geared down, it comes with the drill bits, etc. So that takes care of making holes and turning fasteners. But when it comes to cutting plastic, shaving and forming plastic, if I've got a small nail that's sticking up out of something or whatever, I can usually take my rotary tool that I do have up here, and I'm not going to go into brands. This is just happens to be another tool. Now this particular tool is a 3-speed, so we can do a price comparison. It comes in a plastic carry-all case, and you can see that all of the rotary tools have a place, and this is what one would expect. The fact that this came in a pliable satchel, I've probably got some respectable small plastic carrying boxes downstairs in the shop, and I'll have to transfer all of this to that. I don't think I'll use this. I may use it in my photography area. It may work for I don't know what, but I hate to throw anything away. So $23 for this rotary tool. I compare it to, again, what I just showed you for $27 that came with a case, essentially the same utility as this. I personally opt for organization when it comes to my tools, and having literally, I think, 7 rather extensive kits from the D brand. My brother was a school teacher. I inherited all of his tools. He taught shop, so anybody who's a hobbyist has used that brand. It's very good. I've got both corded and cordless, but even the cordless units downstairs are much, much larger than these. I like the size of this tool. The JEDIA tool here, the 5 speeds makes sense. I will quite possibly pair this up with my other kit just to have 2 rotary tools up here, or I may take this downstairs. I have a small electronics table where I do small repair work, and I could use something like this down there. So it's got its uses, and again, I will probably find another storage device, hopefully, for all of these accessories. I'm going to give this probably 4 stars. Yeah, it's a little less costly than getting the full kit with the case, but I would have spent the extra money if they had offered it to get something to organize all the accessories, because that's what these tools are about. And I don't like foraging through a jumbling mess of abrasive wheels and so forth. These did come with metal saw blade wheels. The other kit that I got back there, it actually had an entire little container of abrasive wheels, and I go through those often because I'm usually cutting off small machine screws to length, or cutting or forming or whatever, but I do use the abrasive discs, and there were no abrasive discs, just these mini metal wheels, and this isn't something, it's not like a hacksaw. I wouldn't feel comfortable having the blades striking metal, especially small metal pieces, unless I was very confident that the metal was soft enough to give. And that's why the abrasive wheels are so good, because they make a clean cut. Again, this didn't come with abrasive wheels. I'm sure I could just take the same, because this seems to be a universal diameter shaft. with a universal screw in. This looks just like all my other mini rotaries. So I can rob from another toolkit. I think that's it. I think it's a respectable tool. The one thing it does have that is sort of nice, turning it on, there's a button right here. Should give you a close-up on the tool, by the way. So what this has, you can see when you up the speed. I wanted to get out of the way of the LED, but so you have the LED indicator, and then when you turn it on, if you want light, there's a little light button right here. You push that, and I think you just saw the LED on the bottom. I'll shut it off, turn it back on again, so you get some light on the subject if you're doing work. That's it. I think it's a nice little tool. Would I recommend it? I would recommend it with the notation that if you're totally okay not getting a carrying case to sort everything out, you do get a 5-speed, you do get the light. Maybe that makes up for it. So there's a trade-off you can look at. I think it's going to get 4 stars. I would have paid a few dollars more to get a case, and that really is important to me.